Coffee brewing? Check.
Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check.
15 minutes till coffee with HDR? Check. Oh, man. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. Oh, I tell you, nothing interrupts Coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back once again to another rendition of Coffee with HDR. Guys and girls out there, welcome back. This is show number 123 for Sunday, May the 20th, 2023. It is 8 a.m. We are talking today about motorcycle maintenance. Might have brought this up before, but I'm going to give you some new spins on it after my debacle last weekend. I'll tell you about that after I did the show. I think it was last weekend. I was working on the bike. But yeah, good morning. Thank you once again to Smyrna Cowboy for putting Mr. President down and telling him you have to call him back in an hour because nothing should interrupt Coffee with HDR except Toby Northern, congratulations on your graduations. We just had our graduation ceremony Wednesday night for our seniors, our high school seniors. And it was, as much as I get nervous for going, once I'm there and I get up on the stage with my seniors and I got to call out their names, and it is such a pleasure and such a joy to see those young men and young women go across that stage and know that they're going out there to the working world, or we have like 4 or 5 going to the military. They're already committed to the military. And it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful to be a part of that, right? So 39 weeks of teaching is what we put in every year, 39 weeks. Now, that doesn't sound long, but that's 9 straight months, every day, day in and day out with these kids. And, I didn't talk too much on stage about it. Sometimes when you get off stage, you think of stuff you could have said. I always tell my children there's 2 things I can't teach them. And they all know those 2 things very well. The first is patience, and the second is confidence. And I wanted to tell them when I was up on stage, all the families and friends that were there, that the patience part, sometimes the students try my patience, and sometimes I try their patience. But I guarantee you one thing, when they walked across that stage, I know each and every student from that school, from RCTC, which is a career technical school, because it's a career technical school. Anyway, they every one of those students now has confidence to go out there in the working world and start in their chosen career path. So congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to Toby Northern. Soon, Toby, I'll be joining you. I have 2 more classes until my own graduation. So 2 more classes, and I want to be done with college. And I've been thinking I could go on. I could do some more college work. I don't know yet. I'm in the realm right now of college, and Toby, I don't know how much of this you'll hear. You'll hear it on the rerun, but the thing about it with colleges is you get involved with it, right? You start that higher education, and you just want more, right? It's like it unlocks something in your brain. Even though I'm like in my upper 50s, it's going to allow me to unlock my brain even more than it has in my whole entire life. And that's a good thing. But yeah, 2 more classes and I will be officially done with college. So, good morning, everybody, once again, to Coffee with the HDR here. We're going to go down through the intros and the hellos there this morning with everybody coming in there this morning. Then we'll talk a little bit about this, that, And the other thing, whatever just fell off my desk back there, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it at the present moment. All right, let's get started here. Good morning, Toby Northern. As I said, congratulations once again on your graduation. You're going to make a fine. Toby's going to be a lawyer. He just completed law school, so if you need a lawyer, just call Northern Adventures, and he will take care of you free of charge because you're on Coffee with HDR. You heard it here first. Good morning, Smyrna Cowboy, Road Glide Andy, the real Jackie boy. Let's go down through here real quick and see here. WS Keys on 3, Captain Ed, D.A. Bishop, Jarvis Biker, good morning, Dean C., Pete's Motor Adventures. Pete's Motor Adventures, thank you, sir. I didn't put it on Instagram yet, but I did receive your new sticker, and it is awesome. Very, very nice design, very nice sticker. You know, Mrs. HDR keeps telling me, I need to get off my butt here. I had tickets. I had stickers created one time. They were absolutely trash. I took them and threw them in the garbage. They basically sucked, and I wasn't sending those out to anybody. So they were absolutely garbage. So I am working on a new design. We'll see how that comes out. And whenever I get those, I will send some out for you for sure. Donald, good morning. Paul, good morning to you. Go down through here. Paul, Ron Kelly, good morning. Bob Nelson, I was on board there this morning. Danny, good morning to Danny. Mr. McStash is having coffee by the campfire, and if I would have to guess, I would probably bet Road Glide Andy is probably in the next tent over. And they're sitting out there right now. It is raining, but they are going to have their morning coffee, and they are watching the show. So it can't be a better day. It can't be a better day. If it's going to rain on your campsite and you have coffee with HDR, you have everything you need for morning enjoyment. So let's see here. Going down through these. This is my story. Good morning to you. Nice to have you on there this morning. To you all, big wave out, they say, to HDR. Thank you very much for that. Bodine's Adventures is in the house. Good morning, Bob. Bob had a new adventure video released, and you have to go watch it. He gives you the top 5 reasons for owning an adventure bike, as well as a bonus tip. And the bonus tip was very, very educational. And if you own a Harley Davidson, you'll understand as soon as he tells you about it. But go over and check that out. Let's see here. Bodine's Adventures, Real Jackie Boy, Mr. McStash. I refuse to call you doctor. Not me. I'm not a doctor at all. I'm a doctor of nothing. Well, I'm a doctor of knowledge. I'm a doctor of live streaming. How about that? Yeah, I could do that for sure. Absolutely. Payne's Rides, good morning to you. And you said you finally got, Bodine 52's in the house now. So I got Bodine Adventures and Bodine 52. Hi, nice to see both of you in here this morning. Payne's Rides said, I finally got the Victory all set up, ready to roll for the season. Tons of maintenance, new suspension, etc. I come out of the house one morning and there's a big puddle of oil under it. Hopefully just an oil bottle got knocked over, and that happened on my carpet. Did you guys ever see my carpet under the Harley? That's not oil leakage. That is actually oil that I spilled on there, actually out of the drain plugs. So hopefully it's just nothing too important. Goofy Bastard's in the house. Good morning, Goofy Bastard. The Dusty Chronicles is here. Payne's Rides again. Steve, good morning to Steve Street Glide, HD AV Traveler. Nice to have you on board there with us this morning. Oh, Doctor of BS. There you go. Doctor of BS. Just lay it out there, right? So I agree with you. Can't wait to see Payne Rides at OWN. Yeah, Mr. McStash, I hope you got my money. I get weirded out, man. Technology is just a weird thing, right? I sent it to this guy's name. It didn't say Mr. McStash, so I hope it was you. And I hope you got my registration okay. So got that all out there too. Oil wipes off the concrete with a little brake cleaner. There you go. It's a good thing to remember. Okay, Mr. McStash, you did get it. I'm all registered and ready to go. Guys, if you're not pre-registered for OWN, please do that. Help support these guys. And it's not really going to them. as much as they went through a lot of work to have a nice barbecue dinner for us that first night or a Friday night. And, make sure you get your registration. It's $30. You can get a T-shirt, poker chip. You'll get a coffee mug with Mr. McStash's McStash on it. You'll get a hoodie. You'll get a leather riding jacket and also a new cut. Now, if you don't know what a cut is, watch Sons of Anarchy and you'll understand. Or maybe I'm just BSing again. Maybe, but not to be put down. He is going to have a T-shirt in there. He said possibly a poker chip. So if that's not in there, don't go like saying, "No, you said." It costs a lot of money to put these things on, and the $30 is including a nice dinner for all of us. So, try to get dinner these days for $30 anywhere, right? And it's going to be good stuff, good times. Potato salad, macaroni salad, lobster tail, steak, um, chili, shrimp, shrimp on the barbie. Yes, some shrimp on the barbie. They will have shrimp. Uh, no, anyway, it is a barbecue dinner, and thank you, Mr. McStash and Rogueline Andy and Mrs. McStash, who I know has a big part in this, because anytime men start putting things together, it's our wives that end up taking the reins and pulling it together for us. We all know that for sure. So anyhow, saw bags are going to be crazy. Swag bags. The swag bags. I'm sorry. Why did I say saw bags? I can't even read this morning. Mr. McStash should. Where did we did get you, Jack? Okay, yeah, got me in there. Bodine said, padding and watching numbers. Let's see. Good morning, gents. Riding and wrenching. Good morning. This is a show for you today for what we're talking about. I'm just going through some of these. Click the like button. Pete Motors Ventures says, get them likes up there, guys. The more likes we get, the more we can get these shows publicized out there. Money 7855. If money ain't for nothing, give it to 7855. Mike Bodine, good morning to you. My Done Life, nice to have you on board there this morning with us. Okay, so let me start out by saying Rogueline Andy and Mr. McStash are presently camping. Now, that sounds like a wonderful thing. I love moto camping probably more than I love, swimming in the ocean. And moto camping is a wonderful, wonderful thing. When it starts to rain like this, and I have Mrs. HDR with me, we are packing and we are heading to the hotel. That's what we do. So, bless you guys for staying out there and hanging out in the rain. It's supposed to clear up tomorrow, so it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. You'll be able to get some riding in and get some adventures in out there wherever you may be. But today I woke up this morning. Let me give you my synopsis of this morning. I woke up this morning at 1 a.m. and I went to bed about 9:30 last night. I was really tired. It's been a long, long week with graduation, and all the seniors are now gone, and you're pushing these younger kids to greatness, right? So I'm pushing these younger kids, and I'm giving them assignments, and now we're cleaning the labs up, trying to get everything put away, trying to get our inventories done. The year end is just, I told the kids, ending a school year is way harder than beginning a school year. Because beginning of school year is like the beginning of something new, like springtime, right? We look out now, we see all the trees are blooming with leaves, and in the wintertime, everything's dead. The end of the school year is like the school year is dying out, right? Now, it is a very blessed time, because at that point, and you guys know, and I get this all the time, well, you're a teacher. My daughter even told me this the other day. You're a teacher. They just pay you your normal salary all summer, and you get to stay home and do nothing, just enjoy your life. The truth of it is, we are considered 9-month employees. So that means our salary is based on 9 months, okay? Now, in that 9 months, you're expected to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and doing everything you need to do prepared for school. Bob knows this. Bronco Ride knows this. Pete's Adventures knows this very well, as well as Ty from Tennessee, because I talk to these guys all the time, and they know what I'm going through each and every day. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you that we technically are not 12-month employees. So we have a contract. Right? A contract is based on 9 months. And what it is they take that pay and they spread it over 12 months. So you earn all your money in 9 months. And then, yes, you still keep getting income, but it's income you already earned. Okay, so that's how that works. So, yes, having the summer off is a blessed event because we need a break, guys. I'm at the end of my ropes with all the teachers are. I walk around the hallways and talk to the other teachers, and they're all just like, you know, let's be done. Because this last week is like it was when I went to the military. We had something called Hell Week. Hell Week is when they really just bombarded you with everything in the world, man. And it was absolutely a hell week. The last week of school is the same thing because you're trying to get everything wrapped up in that week. If the rooms have to be cleared out, everything has to be put into the cupboards, everything has to be inventoried, everything has to be cleaned, right? Get ready for that next school year. So when we go back, we'll be ready to jump right back into it. So that's kind of what's going on right now. So, but I will have time to ride. Teaching is such a difficult job. They don't get paid enough. McDone Life, thank you for that. I appreciate that very, very much. For people to say that, and sometimes when you get home, a few weekends ago, it was probably I don't know, maybe a month ago, right? And I don't know why I check my school email on the weekends. You shouldn't do that. And I talked to other teachers, and they're like, "Hey, HDR, don't do that. Don't because it can make you have a really bad weekend." So I opened my email up, and lo and behold, there's an email from a parent, and the parent wasn't very decisive or wasn't very kind to me for the things that was in this email, and I'm like, please, I mean, I do my very best, right? 29 kids in the morning, 27 kids in the afternoon, a lot of kids to be responsible for, and I do my very, very best. And I try to work with everybody one on one and get all these children through to the golden time of graduation. But yeah, so that does ruin your weekend. So I try to live by the rule now: don't open your school email on the weekends. There's really nothing in there you need to know. Our bosses are off just like we're off on the weekends, so we shouldn't really have to really deal with anything on the weekends. Um, so I just wanted to throw that out there to you. But thanks, My Done Life, for saying that. And it is true. And there's so many. Now I work at a career technical center, CTC, Career Technical Center, right? So we are all teaching career goals. We're teaching welding, carpentry, automotive, culinary, vet techs. We're teaching physical therapists, um, graphic art students. Mine is cybersecurity. We're teaching, diesel technicians, as well as auto body repair, electrical. Let's see if I missed anybody. Oh, and HVAC and emergency services. So we have all these different facets that we're teaching at our school. Our schools are set up a little bit different. Not all of them, because I've recently talked to some CTCs, and they try to do what school districts do. School districts work on what's called let's call it a pay tiering system, right? It's called steps, right? Step one, step two, step three. They want to hire somebody out of the industry. Let's say, for instance, that you work as a welder, okay, and you want to become a teacher. So you're a welder guy. You've been welding for 25 years. In the field, you're making, I don't know, let's say you're making $90,000 a year, 70,000, 80,000, whatever it is. You want to go into teach at this school. And they go in, they say, oh, that's great. You're going to be a first year teacher, so you're on step number one. We're going to pay you $30,000 a year. And you're like, what? Really? So, not all, like I said, not all. The really, really good ones. And I just happened to walk into a really, really good school. I told the superintendent the other day, I said, look, every day is a good day when I walk into work. Now, can it be stressful by the end of the day? Oh, hell yeah. Jobs are jobs, right? But I know why I'm there. And I'm very blessed to have walked into the right school, because some of the CTCs will work with you based on what salary you were making and try to negotiate something. Now, remember, we're only getting paid 9 months. So most of our teachers do work in their professions the other 3 months of the year. And that's a good thing. But high school teachers, you're right. My done life is or elementary teachers coming out of college, they don't get paid enough, right? A lot of these schools now are saying you have to have a master's degree in teaching. How much does it cost to get a master's degree? Voodoo bucks. Okay. So with that voodoo bucks, and then they're going to hire you in at like the one school district was hiring teachers, brand new teachers at $28,000 a year. You can make more money at Target, at Walmart, at Costco. You know, $28,000 a year. You know, to have a master's degree in teaching. So, like I said, I was fortunate because our place works with you a little bit, well, a lot better than that. But anyway, what I'm saying is by the time that welder would get back to that $80,000 a year that he was making when he went into teaching, I'm talking 20 more years before he gets that top step. So, high school teachers, same thing, 20 to 25 years before they get to that top step. And I'm talking in a school district as a teacher, the top step that you're going to get paid is like $70,000 a year after 25 years. So, is it worth it? Only thing I can tell you at this point is for me, it's a calling, right? I was called by some force, I don't know, whatever force of nature that could have been, and I was called to do this, right? This is nothing that was ever on my plate my whole entire life. I've worked in business, I've worked in schools. And, I was a school technology director for almost 18 years. I did that. And I seen teachers, and I always thought I could do that. I could be in a classroom with a couple kids and give them handouts, and I was tricked. That's not teaching. That's not teaching at all. Teaching is where you sit down with a kid, and they're sitting there with a tear in their eye because they can't figure it out. And by the time you stand up, 30 minutes later, I guarantee that kid's going to have everything that's in my head into their head. Well, not everything, because that could be scary, but you get the picture. So, Rogue Lightning says, I could teach them kids diesel mechanics way cheaper than what the schools are charging them, and teach them what the schools don't. Rogue Light Andy, I offered it to you. You could come to our school. You could have came anyway. We just hired a brand new diesel teacher. So we have 2 diesel teachers. And when they come to our school, it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost the kids anything. The school districts send them to us. We work with the school districts. So my school is not a college level school where we teach kind of college level basis because of the stuff that we're teaching and the level that we teach it. But on the other hand, they don't pay anything for it. But Rogue Glide Andy, anytime, I guarantee you I can find you a teaching job if you want to teach diesel mechanics. And you're still at a very young age where it's going to benefit you because after 20 years, you can retire with a full state pension and you're going to have the best medical insurance you could possibly have. So it could be worth it for you. Let me know if you're interested. I would definitely put some good words in for you. Hello, HDR. Ivan Southern from South Australia, 25 years Army veteran. Love coffee with HDR. Ride your own ride. Sir, thank you so much for your services. Very much bless you for your services, and thank you for joining us there this morning from Australia. Roguelite Andy says, I make close to 100 Ks a year. No degree, no college, just a high school diploma. Good work ethic and not being scared to get my hands dirty will make you money. You're right. Very, very true. I tell anybody, I've often told people, I'm going to read Smyrna Cowboy said, at Bridgestone, we had a bunch of people with bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and PhDs. Yeah, and to Rogue Glide Andy's defense, or to his statement, I'm going to put this out there to you. And I know we're talking about motorcycles today. I'm just trying to get some airtime covered here. But so I told our kids, we have 4 kids, and I told our kids here at the house, there's 2 things you're going to have, one or the other thing you're going to have in life, guys. And, this is not everybody, because some big shot, big time CEOs can, work a few hours a week or something and make, $400,000 or $500,000. But most people, if you get hired, and I tell my kids this in class too, if you get a job, I've had these jobs where you're making $90,000 a year, $100,000 a year. I was expected to work. Now, I was salary. I was expected to work no less than 70 hours a week. Okay. So 70 hours a week, and you're always on call. right? When I did tech work for companies, I was always on call. The CEO would call me up a Saturday night at 11 o'clock because his email didn't go through. And I got to wake up, get out of bed, and figure it out for him, right? To find out that he typed, the email address wrong, or he put a comma in instead of putting the at symbol in, something silly uh, that had no need for me to get out of bed. But, servers go down, systems crash, networks break. Um, you know, $1 million companies can go under just by a server getting turned off for some reason, and it does happen. So, but I always say that, so you're either going to have time or money. You can't really have both, right? You're either going to be on call for the man all the time, and you're going to make that $100,000 a year, or you're going to find a job somewhere where you can work 40-hour weeks. Those are usually, and I explain to my kids, those are usually hourly jobs because the company doesn't want to pay you overtime, right? They're not going to make you work 90 hours and pay you, 50 hours time and a half. It's not going to happen. So these companies put us on salary and they go, now we own you, right? Now they're going to own you because they can make you work as much as they want to work. So, Rogladian said, everybody wants to make big boy money, but don't want the big boy work or put in the big boy time. You're right. Well, the thing about it is, Rogue Lightning, you have to make it. You have to finally make the decision and tell your boss, look, I am a qualified, highly skilled diesel mechanic. I work 40-hour weeks. I want $100,000 a year, or I'm walking out that door. Now, if you're worth it to them, they're going to be like, dude, here's $100,000 a year, 40-hour weeks, and that's it. No weekends, no holidays, no nothing, right? Um, you know, because if you just say I'll work salary for $100,000 a year, they're gonna be like, I got him, because they're gonna tell you how many hours that is, right? Get a contract, sign contract to how many hours you're gonna work. So I'm just putting it out there for you. It's either money or time. All right. With that said, let's go right now, right into. I have a camper with a ceiling fan and a hanging TV, but no job. Oh, Mr. McStash, you've served this country well, and whatever you're doing now for a living, you know, I understand from one of your videos what you are doing. People are gonna have to go back and watch McStash. But I tell you what, buddy, you served our country, and you deserve everything you're getting right now. You and your wife are traveling this great country. It's great to see both you out there with the trailer, and you're pulling around. You're having the time of your life, but you earned it. You earned it. You earned it. You earned it. And I'm glad that you're actually taking advantage of it. So wonderful, wonderful for you. Um, I don't think I ever worked 40 hours a week in my life. Mr. McStash, you may have when you was in the military. You may have worked 40 hours. When I was in the military, guys, we worked 24-hour days. You know, even in basic training, I thought, well, okay, they're going to work us 8 hours and let us like get some good sleep, and then they put you on something called fire guard, right? Where you and maybe four of your buddies would have to stay in this hut and on post, and you respond to any disturbance on post. You had to respond with loaded weapons, and yeah, that was a bit much, But and they would test us. They would call us out all hours of the morning to see if we were alert. So I've seen guys come in and out of school and don't know the difference between a nut and a bolt. Oh, that's true too. I guarantee you. I've seen guys come out of tech colleges with a master's degree, and you know, there's things in life. I interviewed a guy, and I told my kids about this once. I interviewed a guy one time. He came with this big binder. It's about that thick. He had every certification you can think of in that binder. Every certification you could possibly pay for to go out and get these certifications. Take a test, get a certification. I said, okay, wonderful. This is a nice book, man. Well put together. How many hours have you ever spent working in the computer system or on an actual network? He told me, none. I said, nice meeting you. I shook his hand. I said, have a wonderful day. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, right? There's way difference between book smart. You need the books because you need the theory, right? Roguelite Andy, you couldn't listen to an engine with a stethoscope and go, oh, the pistons are popping out of time, unless you knew that theory, right? And you also have the knowledge that would be able to go in there with a wrench and fix that thing, okay? Same thing with technology. People have the theory of how it should work and how it should connect, but they've never done it. Right? I need people that work with me that have done the work. I'd much rather have somebody with a 2-year associate's degree that's worked in the field for 10 years. That's a keeper, right? I used to work with one guy. He's never went to a day of college in his life, and he was one of the best networking and server guys I've ever met because he took the time and he learned it on his own. Now, do companies hire people like that? Generally not. Generally not. If I put my resume in, and or let's say not me, let's say my buddy did. He put his resume in, high school diploma. He wants to be a networking engineer. And some college guy says master's degree, master's in networking. They're going to hire the master's in networking all the time, and they're getting a lesser person most of the time. 80% of the time, you're getting somebody that has the book knowledge, but no hands-on knowledge. I'd rather have somebody that learned it on their own, read their own books, learned it online, watch YouTube videos, figure it out. That's going to be stuck in their brain forever, and his brain was full, man, full, full, full. I don't use those. I also can't read. He says, I can't remember the last time I worked 40 hours. I always end up working 50 or 60 hours. So I mean, Roguelite, that's why you're making more money because you're working more hours than everybody else is. So that just makes sense, right? But take that, my mother, I said, take that 60 hours, divide that by 100,000 or 80,000, where you're making, and look how much you're making per hour, right? So it's nice to say I make $100,000 a year, but then you go, I make $4.82 an hour because I'm working 90 hours. It does, the math isn't there, right? So your health is more important. Your state of mind is more important than hours. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully we killed that one. So, okay. Let's do our station identification here.
Coffee brewing? Check.
Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check.
15 minutes till coffee with HDR. Check. Oh, man. Oh. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. Oh, I tell you, nothing interrupts Coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
All right. Once again, thank you, Smyrna Cowboy, for that wonderful, wonderful intro. Mrs. HR absolutely loves that one. It's one of our golden intros. You get the Golden Globe Award. So there you have that. Windrow Therapy, good morning. Windrow Therapy said, smash that like button. Very interesting seeing that the concurrent total viewers today is way down, way down. I don't know if people are getting tired of Coffee with HDR. I know you aren't in the chat room. We're trying to get the viewership up some, not go down. But anyway, I mean, I'm here and you're all here, so we're having a great conversation. But yeah, so do me a favor, put these out on your Instagrams. Throw them on your Instagram, Coffee with HDR, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. And post it on your Facebook if you have a Facebook fan page. Get some of your people over here to learn more about motorcycles and motorcycle life and join our nice, tight-knit community. That's what we want them to do. So, but anyway, so let's go here. My Dun Life, I'm sure it's getting into riding season. Riding season is coming very closely, and that's a big thing for sure. The one reason I always picked, and everybody always said that 8 a.m. is a good time because most people, like even me, I don't usually get on the bike until like 10. Unless we're doing a group ride, I would have to be at the sheets at like 9:30 in the morning so we can leave at 11, because that's the way the club used to do things, right? Everybody goes there and all the people BS. You sign the paperwork, blah, 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 blah. You're there, have to be there at 9:30. Kickstands up at 11. Why can't we be there at 10:30? But that's the way it works because when you get a group of bikers together, guys and girls, what do? Blah, 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 blah. We start chatting. We look at each other's bike. Oh, that's really nice tires. That's really nice air stem caps, And so anyway, so last Saturday I finished the show up and then I went downstairs and I started messing around a little bit. It was either Saturday or maybe it was even Sunday. Anyway, I had to do some maintenance on the Himalayan. So the Himalayan has a chain drive. Now I don't know if you've ever ridden a bike with a chain drive, and it's really not that big of a deal to deal with the chain. But here's what you got to remember about a chain. Apparently, when you're riding, they stretch. Even though they're metal, they give a little bit and they stretch. Once they start stretching, they start sagging. Right? They start sagging down a little bit. Okay, everybody understands what gravitational pull of the body creates body parts to sag. Same with the chain, it sags. So you have to tighten that chain up, and that's really not that big of a deal. And you also have to clean and lubricate the chain. Okay, again, not that big of a deal. And I wanted to get a little bit of more knowledge of lubricating the chain. And believe it or not, you know, YouTube videos, guys, no matter if you're here or even when you're not here anymore, your YouTube videos are going to live on, and they're going to probably outlive our great grandkids. As long as there's a YouTube, our videos will be on there. So I went to search chain adjustment for a Himalayan, and who did I find? Old Man Ronan. So I got to watch Old Man Ronan. So even though he's no longer here, his great tutorials are living on. The only thing Old Man Ronan didn't show me was how to get my damn motorcycle up on the stupid center stand. And I say that in a way that I went to pick this motorcycle up on the center stand. First of all, I pulled my back, I pulled my groin, I had pains in my stomach for the whole week because I pulled muscles, and I've been having back pain on and off, twitches. It's getting better just to take care of this chain. So I was out riding the Himalayan afterwards, where I took it for a nice test ride to make sure that the tire was tight. And I came back, I actually told Miss HR, I said, hey, the tire didn't fall off, so I guess I did a good job. Um, and it dawned on me that you don't do that with Harley Davidson motorcycles because they're belt driven. They're self adjusting belts, apparently. That's what my mechanic tells me. Could be totally wrong with that. And my Dun Life said I test rode a Himalayan recently and I want one now. It's just one of them bikes. You're going to want it. Um, you know, and for the price tag, my Dun Life, for the price of that bike, it's like what? You can get out the door, and I don't know where you live, but here in Pennsylvania, you get out the door on that bike for like 6,000, maybe 6,500 total, right? My insurance on that motorcycle, full coverage insurance on that motorcycle, cost me $70 a year, $70 a year, full coverage. So very inexpensive to own. I think the payments are like $100 a month. So very inexpensive to own. You know, you get the right finance rate, right? You gotta get the right finance rate, but 6,500 is really not bad. Even in today's crappy economy, it's not bad. Money 7855 says, along with the chain, remember to check your sprockets for wear. Yes, I got to check the sprockets yet, and I have watched a video on that. When they take a wrench and they ding them, ding, 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 ding. Now you hear donk, donk, donk. It's like, uh-oh, I got to adjust that because the sprocket can be loose. We got a diller here, and it's about that. There you go. So yeah, it's about that. So there you go. I would say, what does Adam Sandovoy says? Just buy the damn motorcycle. You're gonna be very happy once you bought it. I kicked it around for like a year and a half before I bought it. I probably should just bought it when I first test rode and said, "Hey, I'm just gonna buy one." So a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment on that bike. You guys seen my recent video? I did get the seat rebuilt, and I showed you pictures on this show of the seat, how it's been rebuilt, and it's a lot more comfortable to ride now. Matter of fact, as soon as school that's out, I think I'm putting in for a 500-mile challenge, and I'm going to do it on the Himalayan. I did the 500-mile challenge on the Harley, but I just want to prove that you can do it on a Himalayan. I'm going to do that mostly on back roads and highway roads. So between highway riding and some back road riding, I want to do the 500-mile challenge in 12 hours. So I am going to test it out a little bit first because I don't have a driver's backrest. I know that's going to be a problem, but I think that is solved by Pete's Adventure saying I'm going to strap a bag on the back so I can at least lean back on the bag. And I think that's going to help solve that issue for me. I'll set up something that way and just strap it on. Did he say Never mind. So I'm going to do that, right? My Dunlop said, I just bought a 2011 Ultra CVO, so I got to get that paid for first. I understand that more than anybody. I understand that more than anybody. Smarty Cowboy said, I think the HD is like the Spider. It has a belt tensioner, like a sponnet belt on a car. Okay, well, that's good to know. Steve, good morning to Steve. He said, Jack, it's Victoria Long Weekend, or as I call it, May 24th here in Canada. Perhaps there's a reason viewership is down this morning. Okay, maybe that is a reason. I'm just saying, I just would love to see, but it's not really a numbers game on this show, guys. I don't, you know, I, this is something I just like doing because I like to BS with everybody, and I think it's a great time. When we do finally meet up at OWN, and I can shake some hands and, maybe by then have my stickers ready, I hope, so I can give some out at OWN and be able to enjoy each other's company. That's what this show's all about. So that's no big deal. So let's get back to the Himalayan. So when I came back, I was texting the boys, our little text group, and I said, I'm seriously considering about selling the Himalayan. They're like, why? I was like, guys, my back is killing me trying to get that motorcycle picked up on that stupid center stand, and I think maybe it's too much maintenance for me, right? I'm getting too old to do that kind of maintenance work on a motorcycle. Um, you know, I do oil changes on the Harley, but it's no big deal. I put it up into the wheel chock and I strap on the front tire and I get it under there and I change the oil and stuff. That's pretty easy for me to do that. But I don't have to jack the Harley up to do anything with it. If it has to be jacked up, it goes to my independent Harley mechanic, and he takes care of the big stuff for me. So, um, and then the more I thought about it, though, because riding it, then I'm like riding it. I rode it another day after that chain incident. It's just so much fun, and that's the problem. I can't not do the fun things because of the maintenance. The chain only has to be checked every 1,000 miles. So right now I have 1,011 miles on that motorcycle. So, and I've owned it for what, since last October, November, somewhere at the end of the riding season is when I bought that thing. So, do I think, I don't think I'll get rid of it. And if I ever did, and the only problem is if you do and you get another adventure bike, they're all chain driven. So you're going to have the same issue, right? I said I could be like Ty and have two street bikes, or like Bob, how he has the Road King and then he has the touring motorcycle. I've thought that route because I'd really, really love a Softail Heritage. I think a Heritage would be absolutely an amazing bike just for around town stuff. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I got so many options. I was talking to Bob last night. And he said, "Hey, have you been thinking about a new bike?" And I said, "Really not, because when I really look in that garage and I really start thinking about guys and girls out there, I hope you listen to this and really think about this too, and you probably do. Um, I've even told Miss HDR this, and I'll tell you publicly about this: is I'm truly, truly blessed to have what I have, and I'm very pleased with what I have. I have two really good motorcycles. There's nothing wrong with them, you know, and you know they both ride really, really nice. So I'm truly blessed to have that. There's people out there with a whole hell of a less that maybe I could have took that money and gave it to somebody, and helped somebody out. That probably would have been even a better thing to do than always. We tend in the world, we tend in life to think about ourselves or our family, and I try to learn to think about other people, such as with Adam Sandoval's tour across America right now. He's raising money and he's thinking about other people. He's thinking about those disabled vets, right? And the Wounded Warrior Project, which is an amazing project. And that's why he's doing it. He's getting people together for that cause. So that's great. And if you've been watching Adam, and Adam's been throwing his own money in almost every stop he goes to, he throws in like another 100, another 200, another $300, And you can say, well, yeah, he's making that money on YouTube, but it's his money and he's giving it away to somebody else. So, plus he's giving a Harley away that he's riding, and it's gonna look really nice in my garage. I think I'll keep it very clean and take care of it. So, just saying. My downline said it's a light adventure bike. Anything you might buy in that style would be heavier. Yeah, I do understand that. Bob said his 650. I think he said it weighs 600 pounds. So you're right. You're very much right. And it's me, Be the Rider PA. Good morning to you on this rainy day this morning. I was going to the Harley shop today. Um, Be the Rider PA's Harley shop is having demo rides, not the demo truck, of course, but they're having everything in their shop. You can go down and ride it. And I wanted to go down and test ride the new, matter of fact, the new Heritage that came out that Bob Nelson bought. I wanted to kind of demo that and see what it feels like to see if it's going to, check all them boxes for me that I want to check. So, but not doing it today. I don't know why. I don't know why Harley shops aren't open on Sundays in the summertime. Be the Rider PA can work 7 days a week. I don't see what the problem is. No, you can have Monday off. So 6 days a week, make more sales, make a lot of money on Sunday, right? Because you go to church and you feel, happy and bright, and you want to spend money. So you go and buy a Harley, right? So it is going to be a nice day tomorrow, though. That's on his dime. Harley is not paying for anything, Mr. McStash said. And you're right, Mr. McStash. You're absolutely right. Harley didn't pay for anything. He bought that bike, and Adam's giving that bike away. So that's going to be awesome. McStash, I know we'll probably see you there too at the Adventure Harley Davidson. And we're going to ride with him to Washington, PA, to Still City Harley Davidson. And they're staying in Washington, PA that night. Somewhere around there. I have to check their itinerary and see where they're staying. You know, um, and I'm actually would be off at that point, so I could actually. I know it wouldn't be a great idea, but I could actually stay with the convoy and go for another 2 or 3 states with them, and then ride home after that maybe, just to hang out with them for a while. But I probably won't because we got some vacations planned, and again, thinking about myself, I got to worry about money for vacation. I mean, that's just the bottom line. That's the truth of it. We have our vacations planned out, myself and Miss HDR. Pretty much where we're going. She tried to change that the other day, and I don't think that's going to change where we are heading. So we're trying to get that drilled down for sure. Um, let's see. Smarty Cowboy said, when I was growing up, if you had clothes on your back and a roof over your head and food in your stomach, you were truly blessed. Um, you are right. Windrow Therapy said, you will love the Heritage. Oh, Windrow Therapy bought one too. You're right. Except mine is blacked out. I do like the blacked out look. They are really, really nice. I'm kind of getting tired of chrome, and I don't know why. Chrome is beautiful, but it is a lot of work to keep it shiny. I like the blacked out look, man. It's just so sporty and just so cool looking. Let's go back to Smarty Cowboy's comment there about food in your belly, roof over your head. My dad used to always tell me when I was growing up, he said, son, he said, money is not everything. And I tell my kids this at school, money is not everything. Money will make life easier. And, you tend to just spend it and blow it on more stuff that maybe you don't need, right? Um, but he said the true values of life is what Smyrna said is a roof over your head, food in your belly. My dad would add to that a soft, comfortable recliner where you can come home and relax after a day's work and watch some TV, and a good, solid, reliable form of transportation to get to work to earn the money to support the stuff that I just talked about. That's all you need in life. We drive around here in Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys have these in your states. There are more storage shed companies in Pennsylvania per capita than there are convenience stores. So that tells us that people have so much stuff, they can't fit it in their own houses anymore, right? Now you could argue the point, well, so and so had a house, they moved to an apartment or moved to a condo, and now they don't really have room. Okay, that could be a point. But most people, guys, they have so much stuff, they can't keep it in their own house anymore, right? Or you're a hoarder and you just want to hold on to stuff that you don't even need anymore. You probably throw it away. But so we rent a storage shed. So we start out with the storage shed that's what? I don't know, 12 by 16. And then we go to a storage shed. We're like, oh crap, we got more stuff. Can't get it in that one. Let's move up. Now we're going to move up to a 24 by 24. And then you're like, well, now we got more stuff. Then you move up to a 30 by 30 storage shed. And you have all this stuff that you'll never get rid of, right? And then one day you're going to die and, your whole family will be gone. There'll be nobody left. And that happens, right? The whole entire families are gone. And then all your stuff will be on Storage Wars. and it'll make a wonderful show, and they'll find a fantastic signed football you had in there from I don't know what football player. Let's say Franco Harris signed a football, and it's stuffed in the back, and they pull out the Holy Grail, and they take it, and it's worth like $400,000, and they only paid like $4,000 for the whole entire locker. So, but you guys watched them shows before. What a joke, huh? What a bunch of hoopla. Uh, I used to believe at one time in my life that um, I used to really believe that um, what do they call that kind of TV? Crap, real TV or real life TV, whatever the heck they used to call that, like Survivor. Come on, what's it called? No, I'm talking about reality shows, reality type TV shows. So like Storage Wars. Then we read articles about that. They actually, plant stuff in certain lockers when you buy. You're like, oh, look what I found. Um, we went to see the Pickers, right? The American Pickers. We went to both their shops. One was in where were we? Ohio, and one was in Nashville. We went to both of them. And same thing there. When they go on a pick, they don't just go out and walk through and be like, "Oh, well, I just found a $5,000 phone." It's all planted. They tell the actors where to go and pick it up and go, "Oh, look at this," So you know how that goes. Yeah, reality. Thanks, Myrna Cowboy. And I said that too. I kind of disagree. Real Jackie Boy said. Those are just things. The people in your life are what make you blessed. Real Jackie Boy, that is absolutely true. Thank you for saying that. It's people that you meet, people that you talk to. Um, I have a really, really bad time with meeting people, knowing their name, and then seeing that person a year later or something and not. I remember that I know them, but I don't know their name. You guys ever happen to you, right? So, but yeah, so stuff is stuff anyway. So, and that's what I was telling Bob last night. We were chit chatting back and forth a little bit about that, and he was asking about a new bike and stuff, and I don't really want to go back in debt. I'm really, really, really close to retirement. Like I could feel it. I could feel the retirement. You look at your bank accounts and you're like, okay, if I want to retire, do I want the bank account drained so I can have a shiny brand new bike down there that's going to run just the same as my motorcycle does now? It's not going to go any faster, any further, it's not going to jump jumps. It's not going to do anything more important than what my motorcycles do now. I'm not going to ride it any more than what I ride now, right? Because you guys know that, I do about 10,000 miles a year on the bikes. And I know that some of you are like, that's nothing. I do 50,000. I'm happy for you. I try to, prolong my machines. Uh, my car that I drive right now has 89,000 miles on it, and it's still running absolutely superb. Knock on wood. Never know. But we bought it new, and then when we bought Mrs. HDR's car new, her CRV, what we did was I had a Honda Accord. We sold it outright and then used the cash for that for her new CRV, and I kept her other new CRV, which is only 5 years old at the time. So yeah, it's got 88,000 miles on it, but we've used it for many, many trips and taken many, many long, long excursions in that car. So, but I know it's maintenance history. That's why we wanted to keep it. So, do I want a new truck? Yeah, man, I want a Toyota Tundra probably more than anybody. And why a Toyota Tundra? I met a guy one time that said he's had all kind of trucks from all different manufacturers, and his Toyota Tundra had 220 some thousand miles. He said it's still running strong. So I want something built to last, right? But am I going to go out there and finance anything right now when I'm real close to retirement? I'm not, because when I retire, I don't want to live on tuna fish and hot dogs and ramen noodles. I would like to be able to live on hamburger, maybe a steak every now and then, maybe some good old pasta, some spaghetti, or and be able to go out to eat once in a while and still be able to go on vacations. So I am watching what I do now, so pretty carefully. Anyway, Smarty Cowboy says, I have a 2015 F-150 that has 29,000 on it. It's my life truck at this rate. Yeah, we did own a Ford F-150 at one time. We bought it used, and it was a 2000? Maybe it was a 2000. I think it was a 2000 Ford F-150 is what we owned. I think that's what it was. Can't remember. Anyway, I took it in because the gas tank was leaking and I wanted to have a new gas tank put in his truck. And luckily, the mechanic, I knew him very well, and he called me up and he said, "Hey, HDR." And I said, "Yeah, buddy, what's going on?" He goes, "I'm not going to put a new gas tank in this truck." I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "Your whole entire frame is gone. It's rotted out. There's no sense putting a gas tank under this truck, and you're going to have to junk it anyway." So he was very honest with me. We ended up junking that truck after having it paid off for several years. Then we leased a vehicle. Have you ever leased a vehicle? So we leased a vehicle. It was a Ram, a Dodge Ram. Um, I don't remember what model it was now. It doesn't really matter. We leased it for 3 years. Now we took it back after 3 years in earnest, and we wanted to buy something. We didn't want to lease again. They said, "Well, that's fine. You have to pay the turn-in fee." And I'm like, "What the hell's a turn-in fee?" And he goes, "Well, you got to pay us, the end of contract fee. We had to write them a check for $500 to give the truck back." And I was like, "But when you're signing paperwork for stuff, you probably should read it. It was in there. We signed it." So he said, "But if you buy a car from me today, I'll waive the $500 and we won't worry about it." And they had to put two new tires on the back of that truck, or I was going to have to pay for the tires also because you got to turn in so it's ready to be sold. So we ended up buying that. That's where we bought the Honda Accord, and we bought that one there at the dealership. So they waived all those fees for me, which was nice of them. And we had a good car. I kept it for I probably had that car for 5 years, and then I sold it, to a coworker who really loved it and said there's nothing wrong with this car, and there wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just I wanted to keep the CRV. So, but yeah, we loved. To get back to that, we loved the Ford F-150. Um, we did have a lot of trouble with the Ford Motor Company later. After that, we bought a brand new car, and there was, I'm not going into it, but it got to the point where we were actually screaming and yelling and fighting with some of the head people at the Ford Motor Company. The way up people, trying to get some stuff covered under our bumper to bumper warranty. And they're like, "It's not between the bumper." I'm like, "Well, where in the hell is it? Is it in the sky?" And they wouldn't cover a part. So that's when we went to Honda. We bought the first CRV. Honda said, "Don't worry about that." He said, we're going to get Ford back really good now." I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "Because I send this paperwork over to them. They're going to cut you a check." So they cut us a check for all the remaining 3 years of bumper to bumper warranty that we paid. So they lost out totally on that deal. They could have just fixed the car and we probably would still be Ford people, but I am no more Ford person. So that's why they did us dirty. So, and that's everybody out there, man. People want to give you a warranty. I can tell you about recently. We just went through a company here with a mattress, had a 10-year warranty on a mattress. Miss HR went through so many hoops and jumps, and they get you to the point where they don't even want you to use the warranty. They don't want you to just throw the product away and buy something new, you know. But she stuck with it. She fought, and they finally covered it under warranty. Yes, we had to buy a more expensive mattress. So, yes, they did make more money, um, but we got a superior mattress at that point. They delivered it. They picked up the old one, which we had to pay $99 for them to pick up the old one. So there is a lot. I mean, read the warranty. Warranties aren't really worth the paper they're written on anymore. Look at Harley. Well, I understand the FCC or something got involved and I said, "Look, you can't do this anymore." But Harley was like, "Oh my God, you put an extra set of mufflers on your motorcycle. That warranty's void. Can't use that warranty anymore. It's voided." That's not right. It's your motorcycle. You should be able to work on it. You know. Apple Computers got sued because they're building their computers where they're not serviceable by anybody but Apple. And they do that for a reason. They don't want you in there, understand, breaking something that you shouldn't be touching. But on the other hand, if you're a service person like I am, I should be able to take a few screws out, take something apart, put a hard drive in it or more RAM, and put it back together. Can't do that. So, all right. Anyway, Mike Bonan said, "Have a great weekend, everybody. Have to go on a ride this morning." Mike, you have a good time there and enjoy your ride. The real Jack Boy said, "I have a 2008 GMC. I will drive it until I can't fix it anymore." Same with my car, guys. I'm going to keep it until I can't fix it anymore. Um, but the one thing about that is my daughter always says that she wants to buy a brand new car, and I get it. I was the same boat when we were younger, right? Even in my 30s, whenever I got my first brand new truck or brand new car, it is an experience, like a brand new motorcycle, right? when you buy something brand new, nobody else touched it. It's yours, right? Nobody else has done any service to, or better yet, when you buy something brand new, you know the service record because you're going to take care of that car or that motorcycle or truck. But on the other side of that, paying all the extra fees for something brand new, that's the downside. So if you can find something used, like even if I would look for another motorcycle, let's say I wanted the new 114, or is it 114, nothing, right? 114? Yeah, 114 Heritage. Even if I wanted that, I wouldn't buy it brand new. I'd probably wait until next year. Then I would go back and find somebody that had it for a year and traded it in, right? Like a year old Heritage, and save all those shipping and prep charges and all that. Just pay the straight money, whatever it's going to be sold for. So even like cars, I'll never buy another brand new car. I love the experience of it, but it's not that important to me anymore. HAV Traveler, good morning. Nice to have you in there. Let's see here. Bob Nelson said, "Live well, ride safe, everyone." Bob, we'll see you. I guess we're at 9 o'clock, huh? I guess we got to get out of here. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that I've talked too much. I need to shut up and get out of here. I appreciate that. If I ever did want to run one of these shows for 2 hours, I'd be screwed. It'd be like everybody be gone. So, but anyway, thanks for joining me here this week again, everybody. I do appreciate it, and for sure, Be the Rider PA said test ride days at Harley shops can win a new Road Glide. So that would be nice to get a new Road Glide there for sure. I don't know if they'll be having test rides today at the Harley shop in the rain. Most stores don't want to do that because Harley won't cover the insurance if the roads are wet. So, but thanks everybody for joining me here again. I do appreciate you 100%, and hopefully all things willing, and if we're blessed enough next week, I'll be back here next Saturday again to join everybody once again. So until then, remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there, huh? Harley Day Rider, your girlfriend HDR, be down and out in the beautiful HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Have a great day. Ride your own ride. Be safe. I'll see you next time.